NoDQ.com.
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 The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
What's going on, everybody? How are you today on this Wednesday for Talk Wrestling? Yes, it is Wednesday, November, what the hell day is it? 15th, 2023. Welcome to Talk Wrestling here on ODQ.com and, of course, across the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media. Thank you all for being here, as you do every week. It is much appreciated. I promise you it is not unnoticed. I know it's a little early in the week, but we have reasons for it, and I'm realizing I'm not completely centered, so we'll go ahead and take care of that. You have to forgive the mess. I have been sick all week. Of course, I woke up Monday with a big week ahead of me, and I sounded far worse than this. Actually, this is actually the best I've sounded all week, if I'm being real. So thank you again for being here, those of you that are here. If you come in late, cool. We'll be done at the bottom of the hour like we always are, hopefully, with any luck. Anyway, I know I look a fright. Couple things to talk about as far as actually talking wrestling. That's what we do, right? But the ultimate goal of the show today will be just a bunch of shills, if we're being 100% honest, because that's what we do in the Jeff Meacham Network, is we promote what we have coming up, including this weekend. So we'll talk more about that later. But I did want to talk about what is going on, and yeah, it's real simple. You guys want to dictate the flow of the conversation, because I do have a couple of topics, actual topics. But if you guys want to dictate what's going on, remember to super chat at Jeff Meacham on YouTube, Greg Cherrybrand on YouTube, at Cassidy Studios on YouTube. If you do super chat to Aaron, please let him know. Over at NoDQDOTCOM, please let him know that. JJ's here. Good to see JJ. Hello, Big G. Good to see you. Hello, Darren. Hello, Marshall. Hello, Mohammed. Good to see everybody popping in, slow but sure. They're coming. And then it's quicker than beer, apparently. So there you go. Got a little no DQ reference. There you go. Appreciate you. All right, guys. So the news came out today, and they talked quite a bit about it in the No DQ review this last weekend about Vince McMahon apparently selling 8.4 million or something like that of his shares within the parent company TKO, of course, the company that now basically owns WWE, or is in partnership of owning WWE with the McMahon family, if you will. And apparently this is the case. He made his it was made official this morning. Let me go ahead and read the thing here. November 14th, it's actually yesterday. A new changes in beneficial ownership filing indicated that Vince McMahon sold his 8.4 million shares at the price of $76.41 per share, with net proceeds coming out to $641,844,000. McMahon still holds 435,207 shares, which is roughly 12% of the company. An excerpt from the filing states, let's see here. Explanation of responses. I'm going to read this because I'm very admittedly ignorant about this. So if you guys know more about the business of the business, then please, by all means, fill me in here. And I'm not going to be on screen to read. So if the comments come in, I will get to them momentarily. Explanation of responses. Pursuant to an underwhelming agreement dated November 9th, 2023, among the issuer, the underwriters listed on Schedule 2, thereto, and the reporting person. The reporting person, Vince McMahon, pronouns, sold 8.4 million shares of his 8,400,000 shares of the issuer's Class A common stock in an underwritten secondary public offering. So it's not SPO. It's an SPO, secondary PIP, which closed on November 14th, 2023, yesterday. The shares were sold at a public offering price of $79.80 per share. The reporting person paid an underwriting discount and commission of $3.39 per share, resulting in a net price of $76.41 per share, which is what we said a few seconds ago. It includes 83,102 restricted stock units, TKO RSUs. Each TKO RSU represents a contingent right to receive one share of the issuer's Class A common stock. Excludes 100 shares of the issuer's Class A common stock owned individually by the reporting person's wife, Linda McMahon, which is I find funny. I thought they were separated, but I guess they're staying together for the kids. The reporting person disclaims beneficial ownership of those shares. So prior to this, he held approximately 16% of the company in shares. Now he owns approximately 12. So again, the question comes up, is Vince McMahon looking to bail out? Is he looking to leave WWE? It's definitely a fascinating question that even 2 years ago was unfathomable by people in the wrestling media, wrestling fans, people that own stock in WWE at the time. It's just crazy that it would be a thing. Whoops, I need to put my graphic back up there because I keep forgetting I gotta plug the hell out of this thing. There we go. It's just very interesting to me. I'm going to look up the answer to your question, Marshall. Just give me a minute here. Let's see here. Currently, whoops. That's what I wanted. Thank you. TKO Group Holdings. Currently, a share in TKO is $78.05. That's down $1.85 from yesterday, 2.32%. So it's down after yesterday and Vince's sales. By comparison, Netflix is $461 per share, almost $462. Endeavor, the parent group, is $24.52, which is also down from yesterday. So, JP Morgan Chase is $149. Disney. Let's see where Disney is. Just curious. Since it is Disney Week here on the Jeff Meacham Multiverse Media, we'll get to those momentarily. See, Disney's at 93.93. They're up 3.25% from yesterday. So, yeah, $76 or $78, whatever I said. So that's how much it is, Marshall. And from NMC, it says, "Hey Jeff, been watching the best part of 10 years now. Enjoy the content. All the best." Well, thank you. But again, we have James working on a new signature for the Multiverse of Media, saying how far we reach globally, and there you go. Very cool to see that. So thank you again for those of you that have been watching me listening to me for over 20 years, watching me for almost 19. Oh no, over 19 now. Crazy. The times we live in, I love it. I love it. But as far as getting back to Vince, it's just, like I said, it's unfathomable to me, even from a couple years ago, that Vince would ever not be involved. It's very bizarre. But, situations change. Things change. It's a very interesting prospect to ponder, whether we will have a WWE without Vince McMahon in any sort of control, whether it's on the business side or the creative side. Creative side, if you believe the rumor and innuendo, he's not anymore. It's very much Triple H and his team. So, or Paul Levesque, excuse me, all the hell, and his team. So, man, the future is definitely a funny thing as we go forward here at the end of 2023 and 2024. I watched it this morning when it dropped, because that's how I do the Disney binges. I watch them when they drop. So I'm curious how the show is going to go. Yeah, I want so bad for WWE to continue to be successful on the business side. I definitely want to see them continue to hopefully improve the creative side of things. Depending on who you ask, it's either really good or really bad right now. I know JJ reviews the television shows every single weekday other than Friday, and both he and Aaron were saying that Raw was difficult to get through. JJ did admit he was tired when he watched Raw, but Aaron was saying it on social media and messages to us on group chat that the first 20 minutes he was already like, oh my God, here we go. Same with JJ. So I don't know if Vince being completely gone is necessarily a bad thing, or a good thing for that matter. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't know if him starting his own companies, it just doesn't seem like a thing, but I've been wrong before. The other thing I wanted to talk about briefly, and I do mean briefly because that show is going to go live at the top of the hour, actually tomorrow. But I did want to talk about it today. I had it planned for tomorrow, and then we changed air dates. But I did want to talk about this. So the thing with Tony Khan and Ring of Honor and the television championship being vacated, I did briefly talk about it on open mic night, more than briefly, if I'm being 100% honest. And everything I keep hearing is that they're just going to vacate the TV championship and be done with it. And I don't necessarily disagree with that. I just don't see why they would vacate a championship when they're trying to recultivate and regrow the audience behind Ring of Honor. At least that's what I would do if I owned the brand. And with the way they've booked the 6-man championship and the television championship, and how I keep forgetting Eddie Kingston as Ring of Honor champion. That's not a purposeful knock on Eddie. It just is what it is. I have to keep reminding myself that Eddie's the champion. So for me, Ring of Honor is very much in a state of limbo right now. Raw creatively seems like it's stutter stepping. SmackDown's definitely stutter stepping with the back and forth with Roman Reigns. NXT even seemed a little off yesterday. I did get to watch it this morning. It was again, it seems like to me that as prolific as amount of companies there are, wrestling seems to be kind of not really in a holding pattern, I guess, just more of it's kind of stutter stepping a little bit. So, I don't know. Let's see what some of y'all are saying here that are actually going to get are subscribing to the channels or are regular contributors or regular super chatters, because I'll definitely acknowledge you guys. Daniel says, I was starting to get bored with Raw and then and again, if you watch Raw on Hulu, you're in good shape, Daniel, because it's only 90 minutes. So that's what I tried to do. I agree with Big G that if it goes back to 2 hours, it'll definitely be easier, so much easier to watch. My goodness. Daniel's also saying good thing for Monday Night Football for the time being. Hey, you know what? If that's your preference, again, that's what we've been talking about on the review, that the wrestling's turning off more fans with their presentation, especially Raw with 3 hours of it. So if football's your choice, there you go. The TV championship existed even when they did have a TV deal, and when they relaunched Honor Club, Jay, I guess they continued to honor it. And again, I think it's more of Samoa Joe kind of devaluing it by saying he's going to, vacate it in order to completely focus on the AEW World Championship. If he did that and focused on Eddie Kingston, I'm okay with that. Because then he's focusing on the championship for the company he's vacating the title from. But to focus on a completely different championship just makes Ring of Honor seem less than. That was my whole point when I was going off about it last week. Again, they do have a television program that they run on their own platform. It's no different than a lot of Hulu originals or Netflix originals. They're on streaming platforms that do play on televisions. It's just not a network deal. And I think that's where people are getting confused, or purposely trolling in some cases. I'm not saying you guys are, but a lot of people do that. So lack of TV deal, like terrestrial television or not off streaming, or it's not a network or a cable company. It's a streaming only. It doesn't necessarily mean it's not television. Is what I was trying to get at. Sorry if I'm losing my voice here. I'm struggling. I'm trying real hard here. Well, Jay, I did say that I was going to try to go half hour on each thing, but super chat's coming in. So we're going to go ahead and get into the shills part. If you guys want me to address anything else, please super chat. We'll go ahead and because there's lots to promote at the end of the day. There's a lot going on here that I do want to make sure everybody is aware of, including here at the bottom. But again, we'll get to that momentarily. Let me start off with shilling my own damn self. A lot of you have been privy to my virtual visits as Santa over the last 3 years. Including 2020. Great fun for me to be able to be involved with my friends and my family doing the Santa thing for people that couldn't, go see Santa or have Santa visit them or whatever the case may have been. So still doing that. Please check it out. Santa Meach on Facebook and X, and Santa Meach IG Instagram on Instagram. Funnily enough. That's not even a word. So there is that. Let's see. Where are we at here? There we go. Tonight, immediately after Dynamite, there will be 2 reviews from our friends at NoDQ.com. Again, I'm on NoDQ.com, so there you go. Again, that'll be immediately following Dynamite with Aaron and his full show recap. That's the thumbnail he used. That's the one I went with. I figured, okay, we'll go ahead and stick with the boss's decorations, if you will. And then at some point tonight, we will have our buddy Datilla at Rangers of Wrestling with It's Wrestling Time, giving her thoughts on tonight's show. And of course, JJ will be back tomorrow morning. Don't forget JJ tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, with For the Love of Wrestling. He'll be talking about Dynamite as well. So all the Dynamite coverage you can possibly stand. And then some. Let's see. From there, tomorrow, again, JJ For the Love of Wrestling with his recap of Dynamite. Tomorrow afternoon/evening, Greg Cherry will be in this time slot with his usual Wednesday show, but it'll be on Thursday this week, of course. The Greg Cherry Show, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific. If I get where I'm going tomorrow in the time I want to get there, and yes, I am going out tomorrow. God help me. You'll see why momentarily. I will be co-hosting the show with Greg. I know Maddie's not available tomorrow, so I will never be there. But after the Greg Cherry Show is over, I'll already be there, but I will be at OG Collectibles in Downey, meeting the AEW World Champion himself, the generational talent, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF. So hopefully we'll get some footage with the champ tomorrow. Also tomorrow, or Thursday rather, because it's easy for me to say. No, tomorrow is Thursday, right? Today's 15th. Yeah, tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific, on the Cassian Studios and the Simple Man brand. We'll have JJ and Noah with their predictions, simply predicting the weekend pay-per-view that is AEW Full Gear. And then after that, at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific, hopefully they'll be off the air. If not, I'll have the show go later. TNA Throwback Thursday as we count down to the return of TNA Wrestling and Hard to Kill on January 13th. Tomorrow's TNA Throwback will be a 4-way contract. Winner gets a contract match between current WWE superstar, remember the LWO, Zema Ion now, back then, Jack Evans, Low Key, and Austin Aries. Friday will be the reigniting of the war, if you want to call it a war, between AEW and WWE, as Collision and Rampage are going to be commentated live over with, again, Noah and JJ. Our coverage will start at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, and will continue into and to the end of, God damn, I'm tired. The West Coast feed of SmackDown. So 7:30 Eastern until roughly, until 1 a.m. We're going to be on the air for a while Friday. And then, of course, we have Saturday, beginning at 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern. We'll be on the air with our coverage of Full Gear, including the 0 Hour, including a pre-show where we're going to be talking about predictions and thoughts on the night that is going ahead. And then immediately after that, we will, as soon as Full Gear is off the air, and I mean as soon as the show is off the air, we will transition into our celebration of Mickey and Minnie Mouse's birthday with open mic night Disney karaoke. Again, if you're not familiar with what we've been doing on the Jeff Meacham Network and you haven't heard these price tiers, very briefly, join the celebration to dictate the flow of the show. With a $5 super chat, you get a spin of both wheels. That's a typo. I'm working on fixing the flyer. You get to spin the wheel of categories, which are basically broken down into decades, Prince and Princess songs, and villain songs. And you spin the other wheel to have the singer chosen for you. For a $15 super chat, you will still spin the random category wheel, but you choose the singer. And for a $25 super chat, you choose both the song and the singer. And we did hear from Big G, who donated a very generous $50 to this during Dads on Monday. So again, G, thank you very, very much for that. 25 of that is going toward one of our panelists singing one song. So stay tuned to see what happens there. Marshall, go ahead and I'll tell you what, Marshall, let me talk it over with JJ. He runs the karaoke. He runs open mic night. I will confer with him and get back to you at some point, probably, if we're being honest, probably tomorrow night late, maybe Friday morning, because I've got a whole bunch going on that I'm not promoting here, but I do have it going on. So so we will get back to you on that, Marshall. Thank you for inquiring about that. That's really it. Once we get past Saturday, I don't know if there's no DQ review Sunday. It depends what minute you ask the chat. I know the boss man, Aaron Rift, I believe, is going to the WWE house show on Sunday. So I don't know if we will all be able to do the review. If we do, we'll be there. It really just depends how send you the link. All right. I don't know what you want me to do. You just hang on a second. Oh, okay. Well, off air. Whatever. Let me turn that off so it doesn't distract me again. We're live, pal. As of now, we don't have a no DQ review Sunday, but again, I never know. I don't run that ship. I just work on it on Wednesdays or Thursdays, whatever the case may be. Anyway, guys, thank you all very much for watching Talk Wrestling. I know I kept it shorter than I intended to, but my voice is what it is. And I got to eat something because I've been living off soup and water. But thank you all. As I always thank you for watching Talk Wrestling. Again, please, if you're able to, check out our watch along of Full Gear coming up. Again, 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern start time. Knowing Tony Khan will be on the air for about 18 hours with that. And then, of course, Disney karaoke. So thank you guys very much again. Should be back on regular time Thursday, if I'm not preempted by the No DQ review. Everything always in motion, the future is, as Master Yoda once said many moons ago. Thank you all very much. We'll see you next time right here. Talk Wrestling.